Good morning, class. This is your English teacher, Sir Sanjay. I welcome you all to yet another session of YouTube, wherein we discuss lessons of English Marigold from time to time. So, if you remember, in the last class, we started the fourth unit of English Marigold text, wherein there are two lessons. The first one being a poem, has already been explained. So, today I will be explaining the story. Yes, the story naming, as you can see clearly on this page, is called Storm in the Garden. Right. So, storm is violent wind. When wind blows very violently, it becomes storm. And garden, of course, is a place where beautiful flowers grow, isn't it? We all know what flowers are, isn't it? There are various flowers like rose, lily, etc. Okay. So, class, in this lesson, we will get to know about an animal called snail. You must have seen this tiny creature, isn't it? Snail. It's quite sticky. Okay. It just crawls slowly and slowly like this. Okay. So let's just read and find out. Sunu Sunu. I've started reading. Sunu Sunu the snail is playing with his friends, the ants. Suddenly there is a storm. So he hurries to his mother and tells her all he saw and heard. Okay, so Sunu Sunu, this snail was playing with ants. Ants, you know, right? This tiny black and red creatures. Okay. So as Sunu was playing with ants, his friends, there is a storm suddenly. Alright, there is this violent storm with wind blowing and all. So he runs to his mother and says, mother, this is the problem. And then he tells her everything. Okay. So let's continue. Let's read the story and find out what is it exactly about. Okay. Sunu Sunu the snail was visiting his friends, the ants. They climbed all over him. He. They climb under him. He. Okay. What happens one day? Sunu Sunu visits his friend. Like you can see in the picture, he visits his friend, ants, and all the ants are very happy. They are happily climbing on his back. Right? So let's read and find out more. Okay. Suddenly, a great white light crashed through the clouds. So suddenly they see some great white light. Okay. Crashing through the cloud. Alright. So let's say this is cloud. As they were playing, they see something white crashing through this. Okay. So Sunu Sunu quickly pulled in his hat. When snails are afraid, they pull their head back to their shell, isn't it? So he pulled his back inside this shell. Hand inside this shell very quickly. Okay, snails do this when they are afraid. Alright. So he pulled his hand and pulled in his tail and said, Very very still. He said very still without moving. Alright. So let's continue reading. Okay. So outside, the sky grew dark and the crows flew past. Ka. So it seems as if something dangerous was happening. Okay. There were crows, black color birds, isn't it? You must have seen this crow, something like this, So, pardon me, I am not very smart drawer, not very good at drawing. So, what happens outside? The sky was very dark. Usually, the sky is blue, isn't it? But today, the sky grew darker, and the crows were flying past, cawing ka. Okay. Oh, But where the ants? Where had the ants gone? Sunu stuck out his feelers and looked for them. So Sunu was trying to look where the ants had gone. They were hiding under a flower pot. So there was this beautiful flower pot, you all know, right? Something like this, where flowers are seen growing. So what did Sunu do? He was hiding under a flower pot. Okay. Go home, Sunu, the ants cried out. So the ants said, go home, go home. Hurry, your mother will worry. So they say, just reach home fast, just run, your mother will worry. Okay. So now, Sunu went to his mother, where she sat under a stone near the well. So Sunu was going as his friends told him, and he reaches his mother, okay, where she sits under a stone near the well. Now she will speak with her mother. Okay, he says, Amma, said Sunu, there is a storm in the garden. I heard the wind blow. Ooh, 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 ooh. So she is saying, okay, how the wind was blowing. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. And then she says, I saw trees sway. So trees sway means trees were moving like this. Alright, with winds. So she says, I saw the trees sway with the sound shay. Okay. She also says, I saw lightning flash, zack. So she's all telling her mother what did she see. Okay. Now mother will be a little worried. Let's find out what happens here. Okay. So she says, I heard thunder roll. So thunder was also rolling the sound like gadam, gudum. She's saying, alright. And then she says, I heard rain fall. Sita, pita, sita. Alright. I heard water drip. So water was falling. Plip. Okay. It was the biggest storm Sunu had ever been in. Sunu had never seen storm of this kind. Okay, so she told everything to her mother. So you see, this is Sunu's mother and this is Sunu. Okay. Ooh, shay, zag, gadam, glum, sita, pita, sita, pita, plip. So these are all the sound. Okay. And do you know what? Sunu didn't get wet. Do you know why? Of course we know why. Because on the back of Sunu there is this shell, and when it was raining and when there was heavy storm, she put her head into the shell. Alright. So wonderful story, isn't it, class? Sunu sees all these dangerous things and then she simply gets inside and covers. Okay. So that is it. It's a simple and a wonderful story, I believe. Now it's time for us to take a quick look at the exercise. I believe you all are ready for that, is it? So now reading is fun section. Okay. Let's try and answer the questions. Okay. So who was Sunu? Sunu was a snail, snail, isn't it? Next, who was Sunu visiting? Sunu was visiting her friends' ants. Is it? So where were the ants hiding? Very simple. The ants were hiding where, class? Yes. The ants were hiding nearby a flower pot, isn't it? In a flower pot or whatever you like to say. So next question is, did Sunu get wet? No, Sunu did not get wet. Now let's talk. Talking is one important part of learning English, isn't it? We get to do that. It says, do you go for morning walk, class? What do you do? Do you go for morning walk? Yes, no. I personally prefer going for morning walk. It keeps us fit, active, and healthy. Okay. Next. Have you ever seen ants in the garden? They are visible if you try and see them carefully. Ants are visible. Okay. Next. Watch and see where they go and what they carry to their holes. So they carry various things, isn't it? Food and everything in small pieces so that they can enjoy. Whenever there is heavy rain or where the weather is not good, that does not allow them to go out, right? Then what do we have? We have another team time. Let's see. What does it say? Do you know why you see snails and earthworm after it rains? Sit in a group and discuss. See, very simple. These animals, they live where? In the ground, isn't it? Whenever there is rain and all, their homes get filled with water, and that is why they have to come out. Okay. Can we human beings live in a house filled with water? Imagine you are living in this house. Okay. Of course, we all live in bigger and better houses, isn't it? But then there is heavy rain and then your house is under water. Can we live inside this house? No. We will all walk and run away, isn't it? Similar cases with animals. They cannot live in a place in their houses when it gets filled with water. Alright. Now let's look at the picture and complete the sentences. Pick the right word from the box. See, there is this cat, isn't it? And there are various positions. So we'll have to take a look and do them. What are the words? The words are in. In means inside. On means on top. Under, of course, you know. Behind and over. So let's try to do. You see, observe the position of the cat. The cat is jumping over the wall. The cat is in the box. So class, in similar manner, try and do the rest. The cat is under the stool, right? So do the rest on your own. I believe you'll be able. It's very simple. Moving on, let's sing. I'll just read. You try and sing it at home on your own, okay? So what is it about? It's about a young boy like you with this ball and is happily playing, right? So let's read. Out in the garden each fine day, with my ball I like to play. I bounce my ball, I bounce my ball, I bounce my ball, and each fine day. Out in the garden each fine day, with my kite I like to play. I fly my kite, I fly my kite, I fly my kite on each fine day. So it's about this young boy. He plays with different things, right? Sometime ball, sometime kite. So that is it. You got to sing this and understand. Okay. It's simple. So as part of your reading drill, you can really do this. And then after this, what do we have? We have let's practice. Of course, class, practicing handwriting is one important part of learning English, right? So you got to use a pencil and write exactly the way they have shown by running your hand using a pencil in this dotted pattern. Like rain is the first word, isn't it? So since I'm using digital platform, it may not come up as effectively as it should have, but I suggest you to write slowly, taking your time and nicely, like rain, R A I N. It did not come off well. Just give me a moment. Let's see what we can do. Alright, let's try to write that again. Yeah, rain, R A I N. Is it? In similar manner, you got to write other words. Which other words are mentioned here? Let's find out. Tree is there, coat is there, and then ship is there, field is there, play is there. Okay, so with this, the lesson finally concludes. So I hope you have enjoyed reading this poem. So let's quickly find out what we have studied today from beginning again, so that things are clear, is it? So we have read this wonderful story about storm in the garden. What do you mean by storm? Storm is something which is accompanied with lightning, thunder, rain and all, right? In the garden, of course, is a place with beautiful flowers, trees are there, children come and play, isn't it? So it was a story of a snail by the name Sunu, isn't it? So what was the name of the snail? The name of the, as you can see, was Sunu and Sunu, is it? So he was, as we read the poem, visiting his friends, ants, isn't it? So they were happily climbing on his back. They were planning to play and spend the day playfully, joyfully. But then, as they were playfully engaging, what happened? What did they observe? They suddenly see various things that made them curious, isn't it? The sky started growing darker, and crows started flying past with ka, and then the ants were hiding under a flower pot, and then they were asking Sunu to go to his home. And then Sunu goes home and tells his mother, Mother, today I saw this, I saw that, I heard this, I saw flash, saw lightning, these and that, isn't it? But then Sunu stays protected. He does not get drenched because he covers himself, isn't it? So he tells everything to his mother. Okay. So what are the new words we learned, class? Snail, I've told you what is dark. When it is not light, it is dark. Okay, then feelers, storm, lightning, thunder. These are the words we have learned. Okay. Then we did this reading is fun section. Who was Sunu? We know it was a snail. Then who was he visiting? Friends and all, right? After that we did this let's talk session. Do you go for morning walk? It's good to go even if you don't. Have you ever seen ants in garden? Of course they are seen, right? So watch and see where they go and what do they do. So they go to their ant hills and then they try and store food over there, right? Says, do you know why you see snails and earthworm after it rains? I've already told you, because their house gets flooded with water, right? Then there was this let's write section wherein different pictures were provided with the ant's position, and we were asked to solve this. Like see, in this case the ant is jumping over the wall. In the second picture he is in the box. In the third picture he is near the door. In the fourth one he is under the stool, and in the final one he is on the suitcase, right? You got to understand position. This is part of preposition. Okay. Then after this we sang a beautiful poem like out in the garden. We got to know what this boy does. How does he play? He plays with ball and then kite, isn't it? He enjoys himself. And then of course handwriting, which is important. I told you to practice this. Okay. So class, you got to do all this activity on your own, and very importantly, as part of your reading drill, you got to restudy this lesson once again on your own. So as soon as you are done watching this video, what you can do is you can restudy this wonderful lesson, so that you get to understand this word, this lesson. And then as far as doing exercises on your own is concerned, I recommend you to practice them doing on your own, because the more you do, the better you learn. Okay. And yeah, do it that way. And I also suggest you to practice all these exercises in your handwriting, so that you remember things for a long time. The new words that we have learned, what you can do as part of your dictation. This new words, like you see here, could be written in your notebook and learned by heart. That is how it's going to help you remember the words that we have learned. Alright class, so I hope you'll be doing all that. So basically class, with this we come to conclusion of today's class. It was wonderful to have conducted this session. If you have enjoyed watching the video, spread the same with your friends who have not been able to, attend school due to this pandemic. Let them get to see, understand, and enjoy this lesson also. Thank you, everyone. Have a great time. Bye bye.